Hello everyone, this is Donald Jenkins, the ambassador of purpose, and I have with myself my beautiful wife, Dr. Lily Jenkins, the lady of purpose, and we just wanted to bring you a video with both of us on it to really share some more insight about what we're doing in regards to these two powerful networks that God has placed in our hearts, one for men and one for women. So we're just going to kind of just off the cuff. This is very informal, as we talk about, both networks and what we feel like that God has called and put in our spirit to be able to deliver to you, to be a blessing to you as a man and a blessing to you as a woman. So with that said, I'm going to let my wife kind of introduce herself and say a little bit to you as well.
Well, of course, you guys know us as the purpose couple. A lot of people say the powerful purpose couple. But, and all jokes aside, it's not so much about what we know about purpose, it's what we live about purpose. And a lot of times what we do it as an example for so many of you guys to be able to understand how to be married on purpose, how to do things purposefully, how to say things filled with purpose. All of these different things not only helps our marriage, but it also helps you guys to be able to see a little bit more about us, as an individual. Because what we bring individually to the table together is what makes us be that purposeful couple that you guys so much talk about. There's some things that we want to discuss today with you very briefly in regards to our 30-day personal purpose management system that is going to be coming your way starting on this Monday. Not only will I have it for the women, but my husband will also have it for the men. And I want him to just really quickly give you just a little bit about what you're going to see once you become a member and be a part of this 30-day journey with us.
Absolutely. And see, we get the question all the time, how can I find my purpose? And that's one of the reasons why we did put this 30-day purpose or personal purpose management system together, because we think it's a question that we all have. God put that within us. It's a part of our appetite. It's a part of who we are. So we wanted to give you a structured format so that you can go through this system and really understand how to find your purpose. Because I hear people tell us this all the time. I read such and such book and I still don't know what my purpose is all about. Do you get that from the women?
All the time.
So we wanted to make sure that we had a system in place because, we have built a business model around purpose to be able to help you really go through this process. And at the end of that 30 days, you are going to know more about purpose in your entire life. And hopefully you'll come out of there saying, I know what my purpose is.
Yes.
So we're going to share just some nuggets with you in regards to that, so that you can have a better understanding and see why we're so excited. Are you excited, Mama?
Very excited.
We are excited about what we're doing. We're excited about what God has called us to do. And see, that's what purpose is all about. It's all about being enthusiastic about what God has assigned for your life.
That's right.
We always say this, knowledge or enthusiasm is knowledge on fire. And that's why you see us so enthusiastic about what we're doing, because we have a little bit more insight that God has given us about the subject of purpose. And that's why we are so excited. So hopefully you can feel that excitement coming through the camera. So here's one thing that I want to just talk about real briefly. Now, we get the question all the time, about these two areas of that people always ask themselves. Why am I here? Now, you've gotten that question, I think, on quite a few occasions. So what's your thoughts on, people asking you, why am I here? Just kind of share real briefly with them in regards to that.
Well, first of all, we're all created for a purpose. When we actually, from conception, God brought us here. We're created in the image of God. And so, of course, He has a purpose that is designated just for us, with a certain amount of people that He wants us to impact. And when we're not doing that, of course, our purpose is truly not being fulfilled. It's not being revealed to us, and it's not being revealed to anybody else, so they too can grasp their purpose. And so why am I here is just so important that it's not a matter of just why am I here. Yeah, that's a great component, don't get me wrong. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with not just your gifts and talents, but it's a lot of things dealing with just who you are as an individual and your philosophy of purpose to begin with. What philosophy philosophy do you have for being here every day, waking up every morning, tending to your children, your family, going to work every day? Those are things you should be asking yourself every single day as you embark on your journey. Because if not, you're just rolling. You're just going through the motions of things and never really coming to a solution of who you are and why you were created.
Absolutely. Now, here's what we want you to understand about that particular question right there, because in our 30-day program, we give you 30 questions that we take you through this process of asking the right questions. We always say that finding purpose is all about asking the right questions. Now, we're bringing 23 years of insight of looking at purpose from every angle that you can think of. So we've come up with 30 questions where you can go through that process and become an active participant in the whole process of purpose. Now, when people ask why they are here, that is a matter of design. That's a design matter. In other words, we talk about at the Purpose Development Institute, we talk about your intelligent design. This is your ability to function with accuracy and purpose in two worlds. All right? God designed you with an intelligent design, and you need to understand how to release the potential of your intelligent design. So that's why you're here, is to release the potential of that design. Now, the second question that we get is, what am I supposed to be doing? I always look at them and go, I don't know. If you don't know, I don't know. So we always say, just jokingly about that, is that, that's a question that leads to a whole lot of other things when it comes to understanding about purpose, because that's not just a matter of design, that's a matter of conviction and motivation. Come on, when you're trying to find your purpose, you need to be convicted by it.
That's right.
That's why you see us here on this camera tonight. We are convicted about purpose development. We are motivated. See, never have to tell us to turn the camera on and give y'all the information that you got. We were motivated to do this ourselves. And when you find your purpose, guess what? You're going to have that same conviction, that same motivation to get up and do things without somebody having to tell you to do it.
And many women that have been on the Lady of Purpose calls with me, we talk about inspiration unlimited. And it's all about having inspiration, being inspired, having the inspired life to get up, to praise, to pray, to worship, to give because you want to give, and to give cheerfully, not because it's a duty or a mandate just to say, well, I did what I needed to do for today. Oh, I did my good deed. That's good enough. No, you love God because you're inspired. Absolutely. About his and what he's done for you, and you in love with him just because of who he is.
Absolutely awesome. Now, the third question. Now, these are just 3. You're going to get 27 more in our 30-day program. All right? That's why we say you have to know what questions to ask. Now, the third one is where everything just breaks loose at. Okay? This is a matter of impact. All right? And the third question is all about the shift. You hear people talking about shift all the time. All right? Well, there's a shift that is taking place in our society. And it's a shift in the demand for purpose. And the demand for purpose right now is asking, how can I be clothed with the influence of God's kingdom for my life? In other words, how can I add divine purpose to what I'm doing? You don't find out what you're doing, but you need to find out how to add divine purpose to what you're doing. Because when you agree that there's a lot of famous people out there, the gifted actors, gifted athletes, that we understand, we pay big money to go watch them do their purpose. That's what they're supposed to be doing. But they don't know how to add divine purpose to what they are doing. Therefore, they miss out on the whole spectrum of purpose. And that's why we're bringing this kind of insight to you, to give you the full spectrum of purpose. The truth about purpose, so that now you can add divine purpose to what you are supposed to be doing. We're talking about something on a whole new dimension now. All right. Now, lastly, before we close the video out, we want to talk about this last component here. All right. The 3 things regarding your purpose. And my wife alluded to it earlier. It's 3 things, not just your gifts and talents. Because most people think it's all about my gifts and talent. We always say it like this. Why find the purpose of your gifts and talent and not have the philosophy of purpose? You just become a gifted fool, in that particular situation. So there's other elements about your purpose that you need to understand. You find your gifts and talents. You understand how to make purpose rest on your gifts and talents. Purpose is what drives your gifts and talents. Not your gifts and talents driving your purpose.
That's right.
We got it all backwards. So in our program, we try to make sure that everything is in proper alignment. Then we deal with the character piece. Now, I want you to say a little bit about the character piece and how it relates to the entire spectrum of purpose.
Well, first of all, you guys know our character sometimes can be very jacked up. A lot of things that we say, a lot of things we do, we don't think about what we do. We just do it. And before we know anything, we're regretting things. We've said some things that are hurtful. And it gets to a place where our character is tested. And not only is it tested, but it's even tested with the world, because people in the world see us, and what they see sometimes is not good. And then we try to save face and do things according to what we think God would want us to do, but by that time it's too late. People have already seen us by our first impression. Well, character has a lot to do with being able to understand ourselves, again, by our intelligent design. Not living in that place called our lower nature, but getting to a higher place in purpose. And so when we do that, our characters now are solidified with the whole unction of what God has truly designed for us to do from the original time. And so we can get back to that place of purpose. Now we've repositioned ourselves and we've repurposed ourselves
Absolutely.
For a greater use, because our characters are now solidified and they're where they should be.
So you have to address your character. Then you also have to address your philosophy of purpose. You may not have ever considered having a philosophy of purpose. But guess what? We all have some type of philosophy. So what we try to help you to do is to build that philosophy of purpose in your life. And it takes insight. That's why we're bringing you 23 years of insight to help you build that philosophy of purpose that's really going to bring about a greater influence of God's kingdom in your life. So we are looking forward to you joining us in our network. Again, we have the Lady of Purpose Network for the women. We have the Ambassador of Purpose Network, Roof for the men. So, we're going to compete against each other. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to compete against each other. We're just trying to empower us to raise our purpose IQ to a new level, so that we can make the impact that God wants us to make in this earth. Why don't you give them the Lady of Purpose web address?
Well, the one thing that you can go and do is to, of course, sign up, get a seat, register at the Lady of Purpose Network, and it's www.ladyofpurpose.info. You can go /membership.html. And right there is where you have the 3 levels of membership, and any one of those 3 that you choose will get you access into that 30-day personal purpose management system that you want to be a part of.
Awesome. See, I'm glad that God gave us a wife, because I would have forgotten to say all of that. But praise God, she reminded me exactly. We want you to sign up. Go sign up and be a part of this exciting 30-day journey. Now go to pdcoachingsite.com. That's PD as in purpose development, coaching, COAHCHING, site.com. pdcoachingsite.com. Go to the membership page and you can do the same thing that she just mentioned.
That's for the men.
That's for the men. All right. And sign up and be a part. We're talking about our most expensive membership. Is really not expensive. It's $14.95. That's 50 cents a day. Alright? 50 cents a day. You get a chance to partake of thousands of dollars of insight from the both of us that's really going to take your life to a whole new level. So we appreciate your time. God bless you, and we look forward to bringing more insight to you.
Bye-bye, guys.